Hello there, everyone. Future feature film director, the Rookie Critic here today, and I have had the Arrowverse on my mind as of late. Now, it's more to the fact that it's still continuing. I mean, this puppy's been going on since, what, like 2010? 2009? I don't even know anymore. But, man, it started out where I loved this show. I loved Arrow. Arrow was pretty good. I was really hooked onto it. I loved it. Season 1 and 2 were great. Season 3 was okay for about half the season, but then the second half really started to get kind of chummy and ridiculous. Season 4, I didn't love it, but I did like Damien Dark as a villain, but it just seemed like that concept alone wasn't really worth it. I did enjoy the flashbacks that they had with that season, but for the most part, I wasn't as invested as I normally would be, and it took a lot longer for me to actually finish out the season. And then I took a long break, and at some point I got to like around halfway through season 5, and I'm just like, I was really forcing myself to watch that, and oh my god, I hate it. Like, it's ridiculous. But before I get into more of Arrow specifically, I also liked The Flash a little bit. The first season I thought was okay. The second season I thought it was an okay enough improvement on the first season with the new worlds and stuff. I'm like, okay, this is an okay concept. I liked the idea and how they had the older Flash from the older Flash show in the 80s or 90s pop in at some point. Sorry if that was a spoiler. I don't really care at this point, to be honest. I'm sorry. But, that was okay. And the DC's Legends of Tomorrow was, like, I thought it was an okay idea at first, but, I mean, I really actually hate the concept. A time-traveling team of random people that are just kind of, it doesn't make any sense to me what they're doing with DC's Legends of Tomorrow. I hate the time travel thing, because it's like, you can just time travel with anything. I was talking with Sith Kryptonian recently, and he was talking about this with me. He hates it too. And it's just like, yeah, with time travel, you can just fix anything. So, and there was many times where, oh, this bad thing happened, and now let's go back and fix it. It's just really kind of lame. And then Supergirl, I tried to get into that, and I tried to like it, and there were some moments in that show that I did enjoy, but man, I don't know. It just looked cheap, boring, lame. The interactions weren't funny. Like, some of the girls were hot a little bit, and that's a plus, I guess. As her sister turns out to be a lesbo at some point, which that's fine, I guess. But whatever. I don't care. I feel like there's a lot of more interesting things they could have done with Supergirl, but they didn't really let anything sink in enough to actually hook you in. They just have a lot of melodrama, which is the main thing that this Arrowverse has been known for, I'd say. The most consistent thing with the entire Arrowverse shows is melodrama. They don't know how to make actual tension, so they just make all this stupid, like, oh, I have another secret that I didn't tell you because derp, because if I tell you, then the plot will tell me blank. They even, like, they just really don't know what they're doing with it. In season 5 of Arrow, they had the chief, the father, and the police officer guy. He used to have a huge drinking thing, and both his daughters died, as far as he knows, and they just have him start drinking again to have a problem. He's like, oh, I'm sober, and I'm doing good, and then, oh, now I'm drinking again, back on the wagon. That's your drama with that character? Really? I don't know. And then there's even more shows to it. Vixen, a lot of people don't know, is supposed to be part of the Arrowverse, but it was like a 6-episode cartoon. And I think that is legitimately supposed to be part of the show, because I think at one point they have the character of Vixen in live action interact with Arrow and the Flash as if she knows them. And in the little show that she was in, the little 6-episode cartoon thing, she interacts with them. And then, what is it? There's Batwoman now, and there's Black Lightning that's supposed to be in this, and I feel like I'm missing a show. There's probably another one that I'm not thinking of right now, but Arrow, Flash, DC's Legends, Supergirl, Black Lightning, but I'm freaking out. See, that's the problem too. There's so many shows that are currently airing right now at the same time that it's ridiculous. Okay, the way that I think that this whole thing should have gone was that once you got past season 5 of Arrow, because he was gone on the island for 5 years, and the whole time along with the show, you're seeing the flashback of each year when he was on the island as we progress with each season of the show. So I thought Arrow should have been an easy 5-season show, 6 if you wanted to push it, where, okay, we're done with the recapping of all his events and to where he is now. You told 10 years of his story basically in 5 seasons. seasons. Now you're just going to have one more where he is like the official OG Green Arrow like character that we all kind of are familiar with him as. I wasn't a huge comic book person, but I have seen the Green Arrow in like the Justice League animated show or something, and he doesn't act anything like that character, which is fine. He doesn't need to act like that character. I like this version, but I feel like we should have seen like a full-on seasoned Green Arrow that isn't just part of this like super, I don't know what they keep on doing with the Arrowverse. I don't know. It just seems ridiculous. Every new villain seems less like it makes any sense, and the people that he interacts with and the drama just seem really lame. Like maybe they could have had one fun season, like season 6 be a fun season, but with like a good villain still, so there's still that like back end drama that's still there, even though he's telling jokes sometimes. Something could have happened. I don't know. And then my point is, you end with the season 5 or 6, end the show. And then if you wanted to continue having this character of the Green Arrow and characters that were from the Arrow show go into other CW shows, other Arrowverse shows, by all means do it. Flash, it should go for like 4 or 5 seasons too. I'd say 4 seasons would have been enough for, 4 seasons would have been enough for the Flash, and you could have had the Arrow interact, crossover into that show. And then if you have Supergirl, have her have 3 or 4 seasons as well. But, when you end the Flash show at season 4, then you can have people from Green Arrow and the Flash go into Supergirl. Do you see where I'm getting at? You can continue having your spin-offs alongside your main shows, but the point is, end your main show at some point. End your shows so that there's not a gajillion million episodes that you gotta watch in some weird order, especially with the crossover episodes, because they have these episodes where you have no idea who these characters are that have come in now, and they're from one of the other shows that you are now obligated to go watch because you have no idea who the fuck they are, what they're doing, and you might even hate the show, but you want to see this episode in this show and have it make any sense, so you want to know the backstory a little bit on this character's history. I don't know. I feel like the format was okay when they started. Like when they had the Flash spinoff alone, I thought that was good. There's the main one and then the spinoff one, because it's kind of like Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel. I feel like one spinoff from the main show is good at the same time. When you have 4, 5, 6, like holy shit, and then the main one is still going. It's on like what, season 8 or 9 now? Jesus Christ, what else are they doing? Sith Kryptonian told me some spoilers of the later seasons because I couldn't get past halfway through season 5. Oh my god, the things that they do seem so stupid. It's like, why are they continuing? Why are you... I heard that the Crisis on Infinite Earths was recently, and I watched the Muller's version on EFAP where he and his crew just kind of walk their way through it and give commentary on it as it goes, and they show some, I don't know, it seemed convoluted even to me. And I've seen quite a bit of these shows, but I've not seen all of them, but oh my god, there's just so much happening, so much crap, and it's always like all these characters always come back from the dead, or they have the same actors play as a different character, and at first I kind of liked the idea, but now I don't. One of the other main appeals I had with the Arrowverse was that they used a lot of cast members from the show Spartacus, which I loved that show, and that show was great. Crixus played as Slade. They had Navia in the show play as Amanda Waller. They had the guy as Spartacus. They had him play as some Weathered Storm metahuman guy for a little bit. Asher was Boomerang. There was some cool stuff with that. I wish they would have used more actors from that show into the Arrowverse universe. That would have been kind of cool, but... Oh man, I did not think I would be ranting about this, but now I was trying to have a conversation about the Rise of Skywalker with somebody, and we just ended up ranting about the Arrowverse. We're just god damn it, we're just pissed with this. It's stupid because it was a great idea, and there's so much you could have done with it. Sith Kryptonian's idea that he had was that when they finally got to this, you can have your separate shows, sure, but then once you finally have the point where all these superhero characters meet, then you have that be the continuing show for a little bit, and then they can go on their own pathway or something. Have it kind of like how they did with the Marvel's Defenders, have a reason to have this super team together, and then a reason for them to go apart or something. But I feel like the way he was saying was that they could have made the Justice League out of this show, and I think they could have. That would have been cool. You would have had Supergirl, Green Arrow, the Flash, like pretty much the same people, not the same people that would be in the main Justice League, but you know what I mean. Like or even a Teen Titans. I don't know what you'd want to call this group, whether it's the Justice League or not, but you could have had a cool show where that's something that was happening, and then the villains could possibly make sense to what's going on. I don't know, but it should. The point also is they keep on trying to continue this. Like this universe is never going to stop is what it feels like. And it's like you can't keep on creating the same situations for different characters all the time. There's a gala event and somebody's going to steal something. I'm like, why the hell would anyone ever want to live in this town? Yes, I know that the same thing can be said for like in cartoons and animations, but it's a little different. You can suspend more disbelief when it's in a cartoon than when it's in live action because you're just seeing it as real events. I don't know, it just gets really dumb, really annoying, and I feel like I could keep on critiquing this because it's ridiculous. Like again, there's lots of parts that I love in a lot of the shows, but I don't feel obligated to watch anymore. Like I want to get back. I just want to go and I'm gonna watch all these episodes of the Flash and Supergirl and the Arrow and just catch up, and I want to catch up on everything, but I don't because there's so much just crap in it in the way that I don't care. Like, it's just, it needs to end. There needs to be some finality to something. That's something that the Arrowverse lacks, is finality. Like, if they killed off a character, like, I think killing off his mom and dad were, like, the only thing that was permanent. Other than that, like, for the Arrow, I don't know. Everything else, everybody comes back to life in some way, or a different actor will, or those actors will play a different character. So it just feels kind of meaningless. It doesn't... I don't know, it just doesn't make any sense. I think I've made the majority of my points now, and I'll just be randomly pointing out things that I don't like and things that I like. Again, there's a lot of things that I loved in this show, but my God, it needs to stop. Just end, or at least end Arrow, end The Flash, end Supergirl, end DC's Legends of Tomorrow. You don't need to continue Batwoman, to be honest. And just end whatever show they had that was the latest one, and then call it a day. Call it quits. You did it. You had a good run, but it's like the longer you go, the worse you do. Like with athletes, a lot of people should have kind of probably ended in their prime a certain year, and then they don't, and then their last couple of years are kind of, you're not that good. You're not as good as you were. Maybe, I don't know. You're getting kind of old there, champ, or your team's not as good as it was. You could have ended with like, you were had one of the best records, and then now you ended and it's like, yeah, you still had one of the best records, but your last couple seasons were kind of I'm gonna end it right here. Have a good one, guys. Later.